Good afternoon. Hashtag here. This one is from a Q&A session that I put out a few weeks ago. This one's from Neil. He asks, what is the pace that you would run a triathlon run leg as compared to running fresh? Now, the easy answer for me is it depends. It's a bit of a soft answer, but it's how long's a piece of string. Now, if you're competing, let's start from the beginning. Let's go with the swim. Okay, most people swim at one speed. Okay, especially those new to triathlon or those who just want to get through the swim so they can then enjoy the bike and the run. So it's a one speed thing. You just within yourself, making sure that you're not too gassed, so you can get out of the water and you can actually do what you want to do on the bike and on the run. High end, those who compete obviously are racing. And I mean that in the truest sense, that they're actually racing against everybody else. They're on feet, they're thinking tactically, they're putting surges in on the swim. Again, for the, I won't say for the newbie, but for the people who want to do a good swim time and not get involved in that washing machine, then it's a case of keeping within your aerobic threshold. And that's something that you probably would have learned in the swimming pool and in open water, if it is in open water, of course. We move on. So yeah, not too gassed and within yourself so that you can then get onto the bike. Okay, we're on the bike now. I've never heard anybody say I've had an absolutely awesome bike and an awesome run. Very rare. Or I've hit the bike hard and I've also hit the run hard. What happens is generally people hit the bike hard and they're walking in part of the run. So again, the bike has to be tempered. Now, if it was a time trial, standalone time trial, the finish line is where the timekeeper is. So if it's 10, 25, 50 miles, you empty. You pace, the pacing strategy is there, so you empty on the finish line, but you've got to bike, you've got to run afterwards. So this is different. So you need to be within yourself. Now, it does depend on your ability as a bike rider. There are people who are new to triathlon and new to 70.3s or full Ironman distance, where they have to stay within the early 60s percent of their heart rate, of their power to actually get through the bike in one piece. There are people who are, I won't call them elite, but they're Uber bikers, where they would be up around 92 to 95% of their FTP, of their 1 hour power, of their critical power, because they're that good a biker and they can run off it. So it does depend. There's a wide range of abilities on the bike. So it can range anywhere between 60% and 95, even 100% for the pros. So it does depend on what your training is and how you can aerobically handle the bike so that the run is actually going to be good. Okay, so you might need to step off a little bit. Now we go on to the run. Now, a fresh run, your running mechanics are going to be quite smooth, hopefully, if that's something you've trained. Coming off the bike, those run mechanics are actually going to be compromised. They used to call it the Ironman shuffle. I don't think it's really that anymore, but you are not going to be as bouncy as you were if it was a fresh run. So again, it's going to be less. Again, for the top guys, there may be only a 5% reduction in your pace, but there could be all the way out to age groupers who just want to finish the event. Your times could be 20% slower. So you could be looking at nearly 2 minutes per kilometre slower. It can be, like I said, for the pros, let's give you a ballpark. For the pros, it could be maybe 5-10 seconds per kilometre. Off their normal pace, off their fresh pace, whereas some people could be 2 minutes off their pace per kilometre. So it's, as you can see, how long is a piece of string? My advice is stick to what you know Don't try any new. They always say don't try anything new on race day, and that includes pacing strategies. Okay, the coach should have walked you through the pacing strategy on the swim, the pacing strategy on the bike, and the pacing strategy on the run. And again, when it comes to endurance sports, especially 70, well, I'd say Olympic onwards, 70.3 definitely, and absolutely definitely long course. It's a fuel limited sport. It's non-mobility limited sport, okay? Because you will run out of carbohydrates if you don't replenish. So you have to have a good nutrition plan as well. So all things being equal, it's about, let's go back. So it's the swim, keep the swim steady. Okay, the bike, keep it steady. Yeah, you're still going fast, get into that aero position, but keep it steady. Okay, save as many watts as you can because you're going to need them on the run. And then on the run, I would say in the last few miles, if you feel like you've got a little bit more, then step on a little bit. Okay, and a long distance Ironman, that's going to be quite rare. But in a half Ironman, if you feel like you've got a little bit of energy to burn, then I'd kick it in the last 5Ks. Okay, I think that's about it. So there you are, 5% to 20%, all three disciplines. I think that's pretty much it. Ciao for now. Let's crack on.